Hey guys, I just want to let you know, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain, okay? So it's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or a computer. Anchor will also distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. That's right. And it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Nothing beats that. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hello guys, welcome back. I hope you guys find this at a time that you need it the most, that you are encouraged, that you're ready, you're motivated, and I hope that you have already written down your goals that we talked about last week. If you have not, I repeat, if you have not heard Goals Part 1, I highly suggest that you go back to last week's episode and listen to Part 1. All right, so Goals Part 2, here we go. So Goals Part 2, now that you have your goals written down, you probably were wondering, why am I writing these goals down? What do they mean to me? So I want to give you guys some things, some reasons behind why it's so important to write goals down. All right. So goals give you focus. You got to unleash the power of your goals. Why is it important to write down our goals? They're going to give you focus. They're going to allow you to focus. Imagine having to shoot an arrow with no target. Imagine having to want to get married, but you don't have a date. Now, don't take that the wrong way. Maybe that's you right now. Maybe you haven't made a choice yet or decided, but in your mind, you probably have a goal. Maybe within a year, maybe within 5 years, maybe within 10 years, right? So imagine just shooting an arrow, but there's no target. Where would you aim, right? So are you going to just randomly aim at certain things? And why would you even aim there? And what would the purpose be? So are you getting my idea so far? This is literally an example of what life would look like with no target and no goal in mind. It's completely pointless. You waste energy and you waste effort doing things in life, honestly, that you may have no idea what goals or where it's going to lead you. So goals are going to give you focus. They're going to keep you focused. They're going to allow you that even when your vision starts to get a little blurry, your goals become so clear that fear becomes irrelevant, right? So the goals are going to give you clear focus. Now, you're going to have different things in your life that are going to challenge you. Guys, anything in life is challenging, like I've been telling you. But starve your distractions, starve your challenges, and feed your solutions. Feed the positivity, right? So the goals are meant to give you focus. Just like how sunlight, for example, you can't burn through anything without magnifying glass, right? By focusing on it. So you're probably not going to go outside and you're not going to burn, right? But if you take a magnifying glass and you really focus it on something and you're really giving energy and you're really giving it effort, that's the goal. Let's say you're trying to burn something, right? And you focus on that. Because at the end of the day, goals are what are going to give you direction in life. So by setting goals for yourself, you give yourself a target to shoot for. You allow yourself to have some sense of direction to allow your mind to focus. Most people go about their day unfocused, overwhelmed, anxious, just not knowing what to do next. Because they do not have clear goals. You do not have clear goals, so you don't allow your mind to have focus on your target. So instead, you waste so much energy shooting aimlessly, right? At anything that comes your way. Maybe you want to work for yourself, right? And you don't know where to start. If you start setting clear goals and clear expectations of yourself, then you know what you're looking for, right? So goals also allow you to measure your progress. So by setting goals for yourself, for example, you're able to measure your progress because you always have like a benchmark, right? So you always have something to compare it to. If you're into sales, how were your sales, in the first 6 months of your year, this last 6 months of your year? How are you doing right now in your fourth quarter? with your physical goals. Maybe you gave yourself at the beginning of this year a goal that you had in mind, but throughout the year there were a lot of challenges that came your way, or even maybe recently, maybe you did get to that goal and maybe you went backwards, right? But now it's time to start again and start now. And now you've set a new goal. And maybe the goal necessarily is not just to lose the 50 pounds. Maybe the goal is to have and build consistency, so when your character gets tested, when the challenges come, you don't move backwards. God got you this far for you to look back now, right? So again, for example, like let's say you want to write a book, right, of a minimum of 300 pages, and you start to write every single day, and it gets hard along the way, right? And then you lose track of how many pages you have written and how many more you need to write. So instead of panicking, right, you don't panic. You just count. Okay, I've written 100 pages. I have 200 pages left. Instantly, you're able to determine your progress. Instantly, you are able to determine how much further you need to go. Instantly, you're able to get yourself back on track without having to feeling like everything around you is crumbling and overwhelming you. And even if it is, that goal is going to come back and bring you back into focus. It's like if you can't see without glasses, you're probably looking for your glasses, you put them back on and boom, you're back into focus. But if you really allow your mind to break down, what your most important goals are, you will start working towards them every single day, honestly, without realizing it. So goals keep you locked and undistracted. So guys, by setting goals, you're going to give yourself mental boundaries, period. When you have a certain endpoint in mind, or when you have a certain goal, you automatically tend to stay away from certain distractions and stay focused towards the goals, or at least that happens to me. Now, for example, let's say you are on your weight loss journey, or let's say that you are trying to just get on your fitness journey. It doesn't have to be weight loss. I have a variety of clients that are not just on weight loss. But let's say that something happens, the moment that you decide to do something, just fair warning, the world is going to challenge you. Challenges are going to come, but if you keep your eyes and you keep your goals focused, you're going to get locked in, and you're going to not allow that as many distractions to come in, right? So this process sometimes happens automatically and very subtly. And this is because we tell ourselves, we have these goals. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's get it done, right? So for example, let's say that you're at an airport and you have to leave and you have a flight, like at 10 p.m. and you leave right after work, and it's a 20-minute drive. So you make it a goal to reach the airport at a certain amount of time. You probably already calculated the traffic because you know your area and the goal in mind. Now, you don't know if you're going to get a flat tire. You don't know if your Uber is going to be late. You don't know a lot of factors, but your goal is going to go ahead and give you that focus to keep and get there. For example, would you stop by at your house before going to the airport? Probably not. Would you stop for a break or a snack? Would you stop at your friend's house to sit down and chat? No, because you are focused on getting to the airport so you don't miss your flight. So imagine if you were so focused on the vacation and you were so focused on certain things, why not focus on things that actually will bring you value, right? A lot of people know when there is a football game. They know the time. They set their alarm. The next day, they know they have to go to work. And the football game is going to start late at night. Guess what? They have a goal in mind. Their goal is to watch the game, have some fun, make sure that they're rooting for their winning team or whatever team they're rooting for. And even if they have to wake up in a couple of hours, even if they have to go ahead and deal with a lot of people in the morning, even if maybe your goal is set on watching that game. So in my mind, it's just really about prioritizing, right? Maybe your goals is because that's something that you value. Maybe somebody else at the same time as you is not watching that game. They're working really hard on themselves. They're listening to personal development. They're working out because they have a competition in a couple of weeks. It is what is going to keep you focused. It's what's going to keep you locked in. And when you are able to do that, no matter who you meet along the way or what you see, your goal allows you to stay locked in. You subconsciously put away your distractions and your focus remains only on that goal. And by the way, if you didn't know this yet, how you become successful is by setting goals. You lock them in and then you give them 100% of your time. So there's certain areas of your life that you want to be successful in, of those goals that you just wrote back in part 1. Again, if you haven't listened to it, I suggest that you do. You have to be willing to give it time. You have to be willing to give it water and sunlight. You know, let's say that you want to be an entrepreneur. Let's say that you're into network marketing. Let's say that you want to work for yourself. Let's say that you are creative and you started your own company and you want to go ahead and make $5 million that year. You're most likely going to cut a lot of things and distractions out of your life that are not going to be focused and give you a ROI, return on investment, on your goals. You're most likely, if you go to nursing school like I did, going to cut a lot of the extra parties out because you're going to spend that time probably focused so much on your exam that you have the following day to study to make sure you don't fail because you just spent a lot of money in the first place and your main goal is to graduate, but your little micro goals is to go ahead and get through those exams every single semester. You guys getting where I'm going with this? One half of knowing what you want is knowing what you must give up before you get it. That's by Sidney Howard. Again, one half of knowing what you want is knowing what you must give up before you get it. What is the price that you're willing to pay to make these goals become a reality? But that is for maybe a part 3, I don't know. So, number 4, goals help you overcome procrastination. Has anybody in their life ever procrastinated on something? I know I have, and there's certain things that I just not necessarily don't want to do, but I would rather do everything else before I get to that. But guess what? You're giving yourselves an excuse. You're giving yourself an excuse of why it didn't get done, of why you didn't have the time, of why you didn't have the money, of why. So when you have a clear goal, it allows you to overcome that, right? So when you set a goal for yourself, you make yourself accountable to actually finish that task. Or you at least try to. Now, again, remember what I told you guys about trying. Sometimes when you say I'll try, it really doesn't mean that you're going to try. So, for example, goals tend to stick into your mind. And if they're not completed, they can really give you, like it does for me, like, wait, I was supposed to do this today. Reminder. These reminders are in the back of your head to help you overcome procrastination and laziness. And if that is in your nature, it's going to take good goals for you to go ahead and keep you that pull on you. I'm not saying that the goals have to be big. I'm not saying that your goals have to be like anybody else's goals. Maybe your goals are just what you decided, right, for yourself. But keep in mind that long-term goals actually promote procrastination because most people are not very good with deadlines that are 6 months away. So if you are naturally a procrastinator, I guess that's a thing nowadays that you're a natural procrastinator. To me, that just means that, hey, let me work a little bit more on my consistency so I no longer use the word procrastination and it no longer becomes part of my dictionary, right? So whenever you're giving a long-term goal, break it down. So if one of your goals on there is, I don't know, maybe to lose 50 pounds or maybe to make a certain amount of money or maybe to whatever it is for you for next year, why not break it down day by day until the end of the year? Why not break it down day by day until the end of the week? Why not break it down weekly and daily to allow that accumulation of success every single day, that accumulation of getting it done every single day, right? So goals can really help you overcome procrastination if you decide every single day to set micro goals for yourself that are going to lead you to the macro goals of your life. 5, goals give you motivation and keep you on track. Now, I'm all about motivation and inspiration, but for me, motivation has to come from inside. No one can motivate you to get up and breathe oxygen. You have to do that for yourself. No one can motivate you to get up and drive to work. You have to do that for yourself. Now, yes, you may have an outer motivation, which is, hey, if you don't go to work, you're not going to be able to make your bills, and then you're not going to be able to put food on the table, and you're probably going to get fired. Yes, I understand external motivators. I have them all around me. I have them all the time. My kids are external motivators for me. They allow me to see, how I can give more, how I can be more, how I can become more, right? But the root of all motivation and inspiration you have ever felt in your entire life comes from goals. And you have to be the one that is willing to have that inner drive to set those goals for yourself, to say, you know what? Let me go ahead and start the car. You may have a goal to have a really nice car, and maybe the car that you have right now is not the best one that you ever picture yourself driving, but it's going to provide you the foundation for you to learn how to drive, right? Does that make sense to you guys? By making a goal, you give yourself a concrete endpoint to aim for and something to get excited about. So it gives you something to focus on, and then you start to give it 100% of your effort into it, and then that focus is what develops the motivation. Sometimes we get so caught up. Let me go ahead and have the motivation. Let me go ahead and be motivated. Let me go ahead and be able to do this. No, you just need to set the goal, get to work, and then that's when you're going to get the momentum to keep your motivation going. Goals are just simply tools to focus your energy in the positive directions. These can be changed pretty much as your priorities change, when you have new goals, maybe as you drop older goals, or as you start to achieve them. So one of the most popular ways that I like to set goals, you guys, is I first make sure that I prioritize myself. I prioritize with what I want to accomplish every month, and then I break it down by every week, and then daily I make sure that I give myself non-negotiables. Things that are not on my to-do list, things that are on my will-do list. Did I work out today? Yes, that is a non-negotiable for me. Did I wake up and listen to my personal development? Yes, that is a non-negotiable. Did I wake up and have my alone Bible time? Yes, that is a non-negotiable. Did I spend time with my family today? Yes, that is a non-negotiable. Did I work on my business today? Yes, that is a non-negotiable. There's a lot of things that are going on in life right now, and a lot of things you have to learn how to prioritize and set goals for yourself, correct? So what are your non-negotiables? And then turn those things into goals so they start to keep you focused. Maybe you want to feel better. You want to be more confident about your body. You want to feel good as a mom. You want to, have body goals. You have to be willing to set those smaller goals for yourself. I'm going to start going on walks every day. I'm not going to park, I'm not going to take the elevator. I'm going to take the stairs. I'm not going to go through the drive-thru. Maybe during this time you will. I'm not going to stop at fast foods. I'm just going to take another route so I don't have to see, my favorite fast food place. And then I'm going to go straight home. I'm actually going to meal prep my food, so then I don't have as much temptations, because my end goal is to lose 50 pounds. But my minor goal is to make sure that I don't self-sabotage myself. And that has to stem from inner drive and inner motivation. And that will stem because your goals are going to pull you forward. Maybe you're trying to get married. Maybe you're trying to get pregnant. Maybe you just want to feel good in your Christmas dress. I don't know what it is for you. I've been through all of those. Maybe you want to be a fit mom. Maybe you just want to be somebody healthy. Maybe you're trying to run a business. Maybe you want to be able to retire yourself. Maybe you want to be able to retire your husband, your wife, those that you love the most. Maybe you want to be able to travel without having to worry if there's money in the bank or if you have to ask for PTO. I wanted all of that. So I started setting some goals for myself. And when my vision became more clear, my goals became more defined. I allow them to pull me. I continuously allow them to pull me every single day. And if it wasn't because I set goals for myself, I wouldn't have started these podcasts. And if I didn't have set and clear expectations of what I see for myself and my family and for millions of women and men around the world, I wouldn't continue to do them. So what are your goals and how are you setting them? Now, I'm not telling you that there's a perfect way to do it. I can only explain to you what is working for me. I'm sure you can go on Google and Google things on goals. I'm sure there's people out there that are experts and have degrees on goal setting. Guys, yes, But remember, faith without works is dead. So set your goals, write your goals down, set them, keep a clear focus, allow yourself to really embrace why you're doing them, and then get to work.